Hey guys, it's Lucid. Welcome back to another episode with Nottheim. And let's see what's going on. We got 2 nature gems from Otheris, who has become our somewhat pauperish benefactor, and 10 blood slaves. He wants us to kill some elves. We will do our very, very best. I think this is... Honestly, okay, let's look at what Otheris is doing. This is a kind of really cool way to go out. He's not giving me a big death basket. Thing is, if you have a big death basket, what does that mean? It means you didn't really try that hard, or you got so completely trounced you didn't have the opportunity to spend it, which you should have been spending all along. So, in theory, you should, as you die, you should use every resource and trade every resource you have to get every advantage in the war to potentially win it. Or if you are going to lose it, then to inflict maximal damage. Which I think is, like, some of the things behind... Because in theory, like, if you want to hurt your enemies, giving away a death basket isn't really that bad, because you give away a death basket, it's going to hurt your enemies, but what it really means is you're not really hurting an enemy, you're strengthening a friend. And if you did it properly, you would kind of... I don't know. Maybe this is a little too philosophical, because you could argue if you're in a losing struggle, then it would be worse to the people you're fighting to maybe give the same items to some other player. But anyway, I think this is a really cool way to play. This is kind of how I like it. Where he's literally spent every single thing he has trying to fight the elves and lost, which, you know, that is a good way to go down. And, yeah. So... now he has just a trinkets left, just absolutely trinkets left, and he sends those to me because I'm fighting the people that he did. Okay, so the other news from last turn was you remember how we were at war with Phaedod, who I think build-wise may be the scariest, aside from me, but other people don't know that. People just think I'm a good player, but secretly the trick is actually playing a strong nation. Yeah, it was kind of funny. I'm in this Macone game, and that game probably will have been done, like, even put up on YouTube by the time you guys see this. So, yeah. Anyway, fuck weak nations. It's so much better to have a strong nation. And we'll probably talk about it next episode, but, because I'm like 4 turns ahead of this, so I actually had recorded this and I have to come back and do it because my mic was muted by accident. But I'm going to talk a little bit about why this nation is so strong that I've designed. Because I think building a strong nation means you have to understand the meta at all the different phases of the game. Like, you have to understand how early, mid, and late game play out. And if you can do that, then you are going to have a pretty strong nation. Okay, so anyway, without further ado, we cast Punch Firebirds. We summon, or we cast Illwinter. So that was Jacinka over here. She's now the proud owner of a global enchantment. I thought there were 5 slots. Apparently there were 6. It's kind of hard to tell, I guess, that there was this black one at the bottom. I was thinking we were going to bump into one of them. Turns out we don't. Now, it looks like we're very rich in the global department, but really, what's his? Because he's got half of Mother Oak, so this is half his, and then his globals are kind of better than mine. Like, Riches from Beneath is pretty damn good. It's going to kind of counteract the income effect of Illwinter. And then Well of Misery is obviously really good. Which we may steal from him later. Okay, coming down. We have some battles. Okay, so I had made peace with Phaedod. That's what we got started on. And the reason is because he's getting attacked like here. Last turn, he didn't even have this army here. And I was like, yeah, dude, if this is all you've got, like, I don't know where your armies are, but if you're getting sieged, like, having an army siege you, and he also lost a battle down here against, I didn't have vision of it, but he lost a pretty big battle against Pompeii. So, if that's how it's going to roll for him, like if he's getting his ass kicked, and he thinks he's going to have a casual war with me, well, I had this army rolling out. And so on one hand, I could have gone and killed him, probably, but I've already got enough people to kill. I would rather focus my killing on fewer people. But I was like, I mean, this army is here. Like, it's not like, oh, I'd have to make it. No. It's present. And so I was like, hey, man, if it just seems to me like you're not really ready for this war. And you've kind of declared it casually. And he's like, yeah, I kind of just thought you were big and I should do something. And I was like, okay, well, I'll just be completely honest. If this is all you got, it's not going to go well for you. And I don't know if that was the right move for me, because maybe it would have been better to just roll up in here, but I think he does. Does he have dryads? No, he has ways, though. No, he doesn't. Okay, maybe he doesn't. Who has the... Have we killed everybody with seducers? Okay, we're gonna do this real quick. Who the fuck has seducers who's left and big? Okay, no seducers, or... Okay, wait. Oh, they do have assassins. They're swarm assassins. But they're cap only. So there's not going to be a ton of them. And they're going to compete with these guys for cap only spots. Okay, so these guys do, which actually is important because I'm going to fight them in, like, the next turn. Actually, probably need to recheck my turn. Anyway, okay, so then the elves, I've already checked them. They don't have any assassins. They have the Bean Seed, which... There's something like this, which is an assassin in one of the eras. It's the Heir 2 thing, but yeah, no assassins. And then... Yeah, we just looked at Phaedod. They don't have anything. I think... who were all the people who had them? Because I know we had 3 dryads. Okay, yeah, he had them. Max Fernie. And then... God, I really have a monopoly on that. The only guy with assassins left... Okay, this guy has some. He has stalkers, which are pretty good. I mean, they're really good, actually. 60 gold for an ethereal wall-climbing assassin. Pretty not bad. These guys, honestly, if you have a Mastersmith too, like, these are actually thug-level assassins. Like, just having built-in ethereal with, like, a full thug kit, you'd be pretty nasty. Especially if you went, like, a defense-focused thing, and then you had, like, 2 kind of killy weapons. And you could do, like, you could kit this guy out for 7 gems. Whew. Scary. But yeah, okay, those guys have one. Does Pompeii... Okay, these guys do, but they're kind of getting crushed, and they're not my neighbor. Pompeii... They don't. They have Buddhas who can kind of be assassins in a pinch. Oh no, they do. They have dryads. So Pompeii does, so I really don't want to fight Pompeii. Okay, and who do we... Okay, these guys, oh, this is Othyrus, so they're dead. Did they have any? I don't think so. No. Yates? Yeah, we've already looked at them. They don't. The Golden Boys. I feel like these guys are... Did Magheim get crushed? I think Magheim got crushed. Yeah. So anyway, not a ton of assassins to deal with. I'm going to have potentially poisoners here to deal with. Let's go look at the battles. I know this is probably the longest we've taken looking at battles. Okay, so I raid him. I raid him. I raid him. I raid him. He raids me and fails. And he was retaking this, but he was retaking it with elves. And we know just what to do with them. Looks like our werewolf got stuck in traffic. But don't worry, the Eagle King is here, and there he goes. What's his fatigue situation like? 0 fatigue, guys. 0 fatigue. Is your precision really that... Oh wait, no, that was him casting Lightning Bolt. I was like, is your precision really that bad? Okay. Brutal Savage wrecked. How much damage was this? Killing 20 cap-only Sacreds? That's like 40 times 20, so that's 800 gold. Not bad. We see Pompeii kill some barbs. We kill troglodytes. Unfortunately, we burn gems. I'll kind of just show this to you because it's kind of funny. This is... I think I was too lazy to change my script. Or maybe I was hoping the gem use wouldn't trigger. We still actually lose a few to trample. Trample doesn't necessarily pop Misform, but it can kill you without popping it. Because you just take that 1 damage, but you take it kind of repeatedly. It's actually kind of an okay way to deal with elves. Okay, he rides out. Unfortunately for him, we have a lot of archers. And so the first salvo goes ahead and pops Glamour, which is always nice. That guy is done fluffing. And then... This battle is actually a little weird. They're just gonna run, and it's not even super clear why. It doesn't look like I have quite enough... Oh no, it's probably... These guys are casting Panic. This guy's casting Horde of Skeletons. I only have a few guys on advance and cast spells. I think most of these guys are Communion Slaves. Yeah. This one Master up here, he probably should be on advance and cast spells too. But yeah, I think it's just the Panic spamming here that eventually makes him run. Now, where was that? That was here. So he probably was able to retreat. This is kind of his... this is his area, so he... Okay, not probably. He definitely retreated, and he retreated inside the fort. Oh no, it's my fort. Because I went and stormed it this turn too. Let's go ahead and watch the fort battle. There's really nothing inside. Okay. So anyway, he still did retreat. He would have retreated to one of probably these 3 provinces. So, that's that. Coming down, Battle in Copper Wood. The Jaeger is running forth. And yeah, look at all this gold. Rolling in it. Rolling in it. And then we catch a... So this is one of the things you can do with elves. It's actually a pretty good strategy. for anybody with stealthy, is if you move them into a province you know is being patrolled, like basically all of mine, you don't need to do move, attack, or I mean, sneak, attack, where you alternate turns between sneaking and attacking with your stealthy units, because you'll sneak out of the province you're in, which means you're not vulnerable to magic phase attacks. But then you'll get discovered, like this, in the province you're attacking. God, how are you such a bad fucking shot? Holy shit. And the team-colored squares don't help because we're both Jotunheim, so we have the same color. Or we're both the Niflheim nation, so we're the same color. Anyway, but you can see we killed most of the elves, but then we run, which... I mean, I lost a little PD, but he lost 700 gold-ish of... Is that right? 12 times 40? Probably not that much. 600 gold-ish. 500 gold-ish of cap sacreds. But he does... I mean, okay. But he got to sit on my cap. So it was still an okay move for him. But, you know, he's playing with dice. One of my favorite authors is Nicholas Taleb. And he writes about risk and the stock market and all sorts of things. But kind of at a philosophical level. But he quotes somebody else. I think it was a friend of his. That they go out to dinner, or they made some bet or something. And the guy wins the bet, and as the condition for winning the bet, or the result of winning the bet, is that Nicholas is going to pay for his dinner. And so they go out, they have dinner, and at the end, he's like, "Hey, are you going to thank me for paying for your dinner? Because it was, you know, it's probably like an expensive dinner or something." And the guy's like, "No, I paid for it." And Nicholas is like, "What do you mean?" And what he meant was that when he took the bet, there was a risk involved. And even though he won, he still, like, in his mind, there was a cost to pay, and he paid it. And so you can't always see it, but even when he's, like, successful like this, and you're like, okay, that's a kind of good move. He locked my cap down. He still is paying. He's still paying every turn that he does this, because there's a chance it completely fucking fails. Okay. Let's send you guys over here. Is that it? I think we discovered somebody else, too. Oh, yeah, we discovered this guy. This one didn't go so well. Okay. What to do now? Well, Baldur's sitting here patrolling. We didn't get mind hunted. No, that is for next turn. Next turn, the mind hunts start rolling in. So basically, this army is going to roll this way. We are going to move a force down here to finish Max Verni off. I send Max Verni a message. Let's go through Diplo, I guess. Oh. So he sent me 2 nature gems, and I was saying I'll load him up onto the Dryad. And then hiring mercenaries, I paid him some gold. He needed some gold for upkeep. And then I sent a message to Max Verni saying, guess I'll finish this off. And then to Pompey, I sent a message saying, if you want some of Basenji's northern provinces, I have his full attention. I want to culture this alliance with Pompey. I mean, I've been forging him stuff for his tyrants all game. But I want to give him things he can do other than attack me. Because I don't really... I definitely can kill a tyrant. I am not worried about my ability to do that. But I don't want to. I do not want to at all. That is the thing. So if he comes down here... The other thing is he doesn't have a terribly good relationship with Phaedod, who's been fucking with him while he was down. So there's a very high likelihood that if he gets bigger, he's going to attack Fade Out instead of me. But you never know. I mean, these things are hard to predict. Any other Diplo? To Australium, I say, seems like your war with Fade Out is going pretty good now. So, just because of this, I'm watching up here. Anyway. That is it for this turn. Let's go ahead and pull up the next one. Turn 49. I know I'm not going through like my own moves, but they were really actually pretty simple. Turn 50. Is that right? I think so. Ilwinter went up. Okay, so yeah, the magic or the mind hunting starts. So we resist this one with Delling, and then Balder gets fucked. Now, Delling, I can't actually remember which one did. Yeah, my werewolves are super vulnerable to Mind Hunt. But fortunately, I have Mind Hunt counters planned for in this build. So we might lose a few more, but after that, it's going to be the end of. We're gonna stop using werewolves as solo agents. So this was there's a little barbarian attack here, and I sent like a small little squad, and he sent a small little squad. But this reminds me, he's playing with the base nation of Patala, which means he gets all of their blood magic. So he gets all the Lanka stuff, which is pretty damn awesome. Okay, we killed these guys. We lose a few. Elves. This actually is a kind of crazy battle. I lose, but I kill kind of a lot of stuff. So first, I think this was the PD, the Symphalian Warriors. Oh, wait. Cynocephalian Warriors. And then we kill a fair amount of his Sacreds. There's some trolls back here. None of them are going to die from the Foul Vapors. But then he's just got a big Skelly Spam Communion. And by big, I mean not terribly small. But this is the exact kind of thing that with Mass Flight I will absolutely just completely and utterly shit on. But you can see it can generate a fair amount of undead. We're fatigued out here because this build is based on basically hitting units, and our fatigue mitigation is mostly going to come from the Bloodthorn. So we ended up kind of taking some damage, but we're kind of staying alive, but also kind of not. I mean, we're getting the shit beat out of us, what I'm trying to say. And the poison, I think, is starting to build up, too. No, not really. We're still, like, 1 or 2 poison. I bet you what happens is we get a never-healing wound, and then our HP regen is going to drop. Because I know we die here. No surprise. You saw the battle report. Actually, I'm not totally sure how we lived this whole time and then die. We die right here at the end. My fatigue's really high. Oh. Okay, so this is what happened. We were surrounded by the skeletons. And they were preventing us from taking a ton of damage. Well, I think when everything kind of... when they routed, the skeletons started disappearing. Is that what happened? I don't really want... We're going to watch it again super fast, though. But I think the skeletons started disappearing, and then I started being surrounded by trolls. Yeah, I'm not surrounded by trolls right now. But I think it was getting surrounded by trolls that ended up killing me. How and why that happened, I'm not totally sure. Like, they're definitely not surrounding me now. I wonder if they're berserk. Oh, they are berserk. So they're a little tilted. So as the skeletons... So this is actually interesting. All these trolls, I think, were on Guard Commander, and they got triggered to go berserk. Which actually is pretty fucking cool. I've never seen that before. So... they end up being these berserk trolls that are intermixed in the skeletons. I mean, that's kind of cool. I think literally every troll is... Oh, no, you're not. Most of the trolls are, though. Like, this guy's not, but I think most all of them... Okay, this guy's not. So maybe about 2/3 of them. Okay, yeah, and so this is exactly what happens. You can see these guys just hauling ass in as the skeletons start dissolving. It's actually kind of cool. I'm glad I know that now. These are scary trolls. Like, look at them. They're ethereal, they're berserk. I guess that's... Oh no, they're quickened too? Jesus Christ. That's actually really scary, because they sit there and they basically get all fluffed up until somebody casts Touch of Madness on them, and then they fire off like a GD Tomahawk missile. So that's how he died. He would have made it, but there were quickened, berserked, ethereal trolls all around him at the end. But even so, you know, this is a 300 gold mage. We killed about 1,000 golden units, and we used some gems. He's going to get our gear. But, so would I do it again? No. But, is this a horrible outcome for something that went pretty poorly? Not really. We end up killing the last of the Max Fernie Melquarts. And this actually is going to be kind of funny. We're going to Astral kill him. He's got a Vine Shield, some other stuff. Crossbows are doing a fair amount of work too, but things like, we're hitting him a fair amount with like, Incinerate, and then also I think, Mind Burn and other things. Soul Slay's coming out, Incinerate, Mind Burn. Yeah. I think Mind Burners that finally killed him. So, yeah, we took his stuff, which is nice. Got a little donation. More rating where we're successful. He kills a PD dump. We see... I think this was the fort. Yeah. So there's a small little communion back here. I don't know if they're gonna... No, he obviously hasn't taken much care to micro these guys. You would be surprised what a little communion like this can do. Are they all... See that? No. You didn't even have iron skin on all these guys. So these should be in a little communion. Like a... I'm not exactly sure what the communion would be. But... I mean, these guys with... Iron Skin and Body Ethereal and Temper Flash on basically everybody are pretty killy. Or, not killy, they're pretty hard to kill. And then you could also have Fire Shield on most of them. And, what else? I don't think Quickness would really be good, but you could also have Breath of Winter. There's a very good chance that even with Breath of Winter and Fire Shield on them, that things would die or freeze to death before they would kill anybody. These little tight human death ball communions, especially while there's like some distraction up here, like the archers to distract units, they can be surprisingly resilient. I'll just say that. Now, are they going to survive Jotun Wolves? Probably not. But that's why you summon fire elementals with your communion once you're done with your rather short, inefficient fluffing script. Because this guy shitting out a few fire elementals could do some pretty serious work. Anyway, but instead they just die. And then there's a battle here, where our dudes attack Phaedod, which is fine by us. We got some gold. Not really a good event there. Plus 10 permanent income. Found a silver deposit site, which is plus 20 or 30 permanent income. So like those two events right here, those are basically like getting another small province permanently added to my empire. Earth gems plus 8, very nice. Unrest, gold, unrest. More gems and some boots, more gold, and then we got a circle master. So this is what it's like living with 300 firebirds. Bunch of good events. And then also we have luck 3 on a large empire, which means we're going to get usually 5 probably good events a turn. Now that we finally have Dominion pushing our things out. So what we're doing this turn, we are... Basically, we're going to move everybody here. We've got a huge army. He's got a huge army. He's probably feeling like, hey, I've got to shit or get off the pot. We might as well attack him if I'm going to attack. That's what I'm expecting he's going to do. So we're going to go ahead and move a huge army here. And we'll see if we end up getting a fight. We're going to have a lot of the basics. Darkness coming out. Summon Earth Power. Serpent's Blessing, Personal Regen, Mass Protection. I can start doing, and I should, but I'm not sure. I probably want to get Mass Regen before I start dropping Foul Vapors. Ooh, sorry guys, I got yawns. But then we have the other stuff like Flaming Arrows and Power of the Sepulchre, and then Fog Warriors and Arrowfiend. And then we have a fair amount of archers, so this should be, unless he's bringing the same stuff, it's going to be an absolute beatdown. And even if he is bringing the same stuff, his stuff doesn't see in the dark. And if you see in the dark and your opponent doesn't, then basically they get completely fucked. So yeah, I think that's about it. Over here, we haven't cracked it yet, but potentially we'll be cracking it next turn. We have a small little army. This is an extremely low commitment army. I haven't even bothered to script these guys. They're basically just carrying troops. And then this guy doing mass protection. If there's an elf inside, we will probably be in trouble. But potentially these guys, if they're on advancing cast spells, may be able to scare him away or something like that. Now, he has a big army right here. Basenji. And so this army is probably going to have to defend the capital, because what it looks like is I'm making a beeline from here to here to here to his capital, which is something I kind of am doing. But this is a big scary army with probably a big turbo communion. So we're going to end up probably just... What it really is this is his only army for this part of his empire. Most of his stuff, I think, is over here. Now that we killed a fair amount of it on this side too. So I don't think this is actually terribly scary. I think this is just some undead chaff. But, I mean, I could be horribly wrong. But, like, if I lose these guys, like, this is so low commitment for me. So anyway, we're looking to take these, but I don't want to take these. Like, these are like, this is a medium army. For me, this is not like a high commitment army, but it's a medium commitment army. This is a low commitment army. And for these to be effective, I don't want them to run into his high commitment army. So we're going to take this one, this is a high commitment army from me for now. It's not very high. This isn't extremely far away from an all-in. But it is something I don't want to lose. And that a loss would be pretty painful. I don't have a ton of troops here. I think it's, what, 400? Yeah. So anyway, but we can potentially fight and potentially win against these guys, but it's just going to be a little slow going. Now what we're going to do is go sit on top of this fort. That's going to be our first little move. That's going to be our first little move. And then here we're going to chill out. On this side, we're going to kind of pull these guys back. And I brought in, because I'm worried about mind hunts now, I brought in this guy. And I want him to actually be there after the thing ends. So I put him on top of the Eagle King, so that hopefully he sits here and chills out while, you know, the battle happens. And then he'll be there at the end. That's the thought, so that we don't get mind hunted. These guys are gonna... There's a fort here. These guys are just gonna go raid. Yeah, if we look at... This is probably something we should have looked at, because this was just him raiding this province, but we can get a sense for kind of what he was planning. He's got Natural Storm, which could mean a few things. It could mean air elemental summoning. It appears he's... I think he has all... I mean, enchantment 8, because he's got a lot of gear. Like when I see a water mage, where the hell are you? This to me says, well, maybe it can't do it. I think you have to be higher. This is not going to be enough for Frostfind. Actually, I'm not sure what that is going to be. Yeah, I don't know what the storm is for. Oh, wait, I think it was just a storm staff. Yeah, okay. So it's a storm staff, but that means he could potentially be thinking about... I mean, he doesn't... Which is... So, first of all, it's good that he has it. But, secondly... it could mean things like air elementals and things like that, which would be pretty good anti-thug, and they're pretty good against communions. They're not super great against hordes of undead, though. But they're not horrible, horrible, horrible either. Anyway, we're going to move these guys here. He probably isn't going to expect it. The Mind Hunts are coming from United Nations, so I'm still kind of okay to use basically unsupported Scrotty, I think, in Boston G. But that's basically it. We're positioning for a fight. We're moving this big army, which was over here threatening Phaedod. We're moving them up into United Nations Junior. We're starting to get ready to build up another army, like probably another 1,000 undead army that we're going to pull up to deal with Phaedod. He's probably going to end his nap with us again. So we have a nap 1 now. He's probably going to end that again in like... I bet like 4 or 5 turns. You can see he's already kind of positioning troops here, so we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and keep tuning in, and I'll see you next time.